Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, English with Subtitles. Today, we are going to learn English with an interesting horror story. Our story today is about a young photographer named Tony. Tony had always been drawn to forgotten places. He liked peeling paint, collapsed roofs, and the smell of wood rotting in silence. As a photographer, abandoned houses were his muse. He believed every ruin still whispered to those who dared to listen. When he heard about the Ashcroft House, a massive Victorian mansion deep in the countryside, he couldn't resist. Locals in the nearby village spoke about it in low voices. Some said it was cursed. Others said people went in but never came back out. Tony laughed at their warnings. Superstition, he thought. Just stories to scare children. On a gray November morning, he drove through fog-choked roads until the house appeared, like a shadow from another world. Its windows were black hollows. Its walls sagged beneath tangled vines. A chill crawled down his spine, but he gripped his camera tighter. Inside, the air was thick with dust and mold. Every step on the warped floor groaned like a warning. He raised his camera and began snapping shots. Broken chandeliers, claw-foot tubs filled with stagnant water, portraits where the eyes seemed too alive. The deeper he went, the stranger it became. The layout didn't make sense. He climbed stairs that ended in blank walls. He opened doors that led to hallways looping back to where he'd started. His phone had no signal. The light outside dimmed as though night had come too early. In one room, he found a child's rocking horse. It rocked on its own, slow and steady, as if someone invisible pushed it. He whispered, "Wind," but the windows were sealed tight. Then came the sound, a soft weeping. Tony froze, holding his breath. It came from the walls. He pressed his ear to the cracked plaster. The crying grew louder, high-pitched, like a child in pain. His stomach twisted, but his curiosity forced him to follow. He trailed the sound through crooked halls until he reached a locked door at the end of a corridor. The crying stopped. He turned the handle. It opened. The room was small, barely large enough to stand in. In the center lay a dusty crib. Inside, wrapped in moldy blankets, was a doll with a porcelain face. Its eyes were wet, as though it had been crying real tears. Tony stumbled back, camera shaking in his hands. He snapped a picture, the flash bursting in the darkness. For an instant, he swore he saw a real infant in the crib, its skin pale blue, its mouth open in a silent scream. When the flash faded, the doll remained. He wanted to leave. His body screamed for escape, but every turn led him deeper into the house. Doors slammed shut behind him. Hallways stretched longer than before. The air grew heavier, as though the house itself was breathing. At last, he found a grand staircase. Relief surged. An exit must be close. But as he descended, he realized each step led upward. No matter how far he went, the stairs kept climbing, spiraling higher and higher into shadows without end. And then he heard it again, the crying. But now, it wasn't one voice. Dozens of children wailing in unison, surrounding him, pressing in from the walls, the ceiling, the floor. Through the noise, he caught words. "Stay, stay. You belong to the house now." Tony dropped his camera and ran blindly. The villagers found his car weeks later. parked by the gates of Ashcroft House. The keys were still in the ignition. The camera, when recovered, contained hundreds of photos, all of the same room, the same crib, and in each photo, the doll had moved closer to the lens. In the very last picture, there was no doll, only Tony's terrified face pressed against the glass, his mouth open in a silent scream. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe and give us a big like.